We back again, Coach Class Pod, man. Like, rate, subscribe on all platforms and everywhere that you can find us. We appreciate the engagement thus far. Before we get started, because we got something special today, I want to say it's always different without 1/3 of Coach Class Pod. It was an unfortunate circumstance, but he's good, and he'll be back soon. So, absolutely. Without further ado, let's get busy.
Oh, let's get busy, man. So we just finished Rich. Salute to Rich.
Yes. Shout out Rich. Shout out Rich.
Because we was all supposed to do it together, but things happen.
And we wanted you for this, bro. Yeah. Like, goddamn, we was waiting for this.
But
we're
gonna touch it again.
Yeah.
Out of respect, because we got you.
Yes, out of respect for Rich and the movie.
Absolutely. So we just finished seeing fresh John Wick 4.
Yes, John Wick 4. We just saw it maybe an hour and a half ago. Yeah. 2 hours ago.
Probably about now, not an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. First off, man, I'm gonna come straight up with it, just off rip.
Yeah.
And then we get into everything after.
Okay.
I thought it was amazing. Yeah.
I did. I was going to jump out the gate so far. That's why you was like, yo, we got to settle down.
Yeah.
When we was in the theater, I was like, I ain't want to upset you. You going to like, yo, you giving all the sauce away.
No, I was trying not to say
I was
too
like,
much.
greatest action film I've ever seen in my fucking life. For real. Like, now, not action drama, but if you like straight up, I'm getting crazy right now. Interesting story that's interesting enough to hold you. Interesting characters. Just fire all the way through before, because I'm gonna start going on.
I wanted to get to the initial reaction.
So great,
like I said, mine.
So great.
I said we had to decompress after right away.
So fucking great.
Because it was
every scene.
It was charged up, yo.
They wild out. They got that budget now, shorty.
Yeah,
they got that bread now. They got that Matrix money now.
Yeah,
nigga.
You can tell the budget is definitely up there, and it's dope because it's like. When it first came out, like I said, I think a lot of people was like, I kind of might have saw it by accident. I know that was my story. I think you kind of said you kind of saw it on the fly, right?
Yo, I didn't see it in the theater.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I think this was when the before Netflix and all that was hot. Remember, usually they had the red box where you could rent shit for like $1 when we was in like 11th, 12th grade. And I think I saw it through that because he had a Beagle, and we had a Beagle ad back then. That's why me and Rich. Yeah. Because we felt when they killed the dog.
Yeah. That's
like, I'm like, he need to kill everybody. He got to body everybody now.
Yeah.
Yo. But that's when I first saw it. It was incidental. It wasn't something I was looking for, but it was great, and I loved the first one.
My joint was chilling, and I believe it was on one of them channels. It might have been HBO or something like that. And went through it and passed it. And was like, John Wick, just click it, right? Just click it. And then probably no more than 10 minutes in, so it was real early.
Yeah.
And man, the rest is leading all the way up to this, and you could tell
Great
the budget
character.
was different then. And you can tell it's just been a slow build. And what did I say before this movie? I said, it's going to make the most money. Because you can see the other ones is kind of cult-like. But for 4, I kept hearing more and more just casual people who I haven't heard talk about it in a while. And just random people just out there mentioning with John Wick 4. And I was like, nah, it's about to take off crazy, yo.
And now that you mentioned that it's 4, that's the greatest 4th film of any, like,
all right,
movie.
Let's slowly get into it, Mike.
All right, yeah.
So I'm gonna try to start from the beginning. I was in there taking notes. I was looking like one of the.
That was tough. I saw you. My man was doing business at the Continental while watching them do business at the Continental. Man.
I had to because we got to take it serious. We was looking forward to this. Yo, we was looking for the 2 movies, Creed and this, the most out of the whole month. So
and they didn't disappoint. But what's the chances that the movies we've been waiting for are coming out and they crazy? Yeah. And we might got some magical sauce together because I think about it. Our 3 movies we went to go see together, The Batman.
Hard.
No, we didn't go see Creed 3 together.
Nah, but we talked it.
Yeah.
I experienced for all that.
Together, we all experienced it together.
Yeah, seriously.
And then we got the John Wick 4, yo.
Yeah.
Those is crazy films.
Yeah.
But my bag.
No, you good, yo.
I'm just excited because we always go see some crazy shit.
We excited. So listen, man. I'm going to start the movie off. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a review. Spoilers.
Heavy spoilers all through.
Spoilers and more spoilers.
Don't watch it until you go see it, honestly.
Yeah. So the movie started off and it was dope because we saw it in IMAX.
Yes.
And the sound.
Oh my God.
And the close-up shot.
When he was punching the board?
He was punching the board.
I heard that shit.
With the blood on it.
Yo.
And the sound, the boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Just mad loud. Yo, the first punch went. First, there was a group of like ladies. They look like, it's interesting. They was like, just looked like they was all just a group of just women friends. Like
Yeah.
They was all look like probably mid 40s to upper 40s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just, it had a bit, this is what I want to say, that it was a bunch of everybody in there. All the way to little kids.
Why was it little somebody brought their like 6-year-old daughter to go see John Wick 4, bro.
See, I don't know.
It's a different generation.
I don't know
now.
I don't know if it's the same girl you saw or if it's a different one, because there was a guy there with a girl and a boy.
I didn't see
And
them.
I'm sitting there like,
I saw the little girl because I said something to you. Like, it was a little girl that came walking in. I'm like,
listen,
we
man.
not in no fucking Pixar movie. Like, this shit.
You know, listen, I'm not a parent, but I wouldn't advise rated R movies for kids. But I think a lot of people, the
You
parents
can squeeze rated R, certain rated R films.
It's probably happened, right? But we all know the movies that's not the one right there to go to.
We ain't even have nothing like that back in the day.
The violent level of violence in that, and it's just crazy. So anyway, that was a little weird.
Weird parenting.
And one of the weird things, real quick about that, I heard the little boy when I went to go to the restaurant, he was talking to his sister. He was like, the shots weren't even loud like that, which was like, I was like, yo, what's going on here, yo? I was like, it's too much, yo.
That's scary.
That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, let's get into it. So it's dramatic. But what I was saying was the group of ladies in front of us, and when the first punch hit and how loud that IMAX and that sound and everything was, she jumped. Did you see her?
You can feel that shit in your chest.
Yeah, you saw it because nobody expected it. It just came in and boom.
You could feel it. It was doom.
And until you see the punch, you don't know what it is. You like, I don't know what the heck just happened.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, yo, they about to
explosion.
bring aliens or some shit into John Wick.
Yeah. This is Faster than Furious.
I know. Doom.
So
Doom.
he come in and then you hear like a monologue. And who is it?
I knew you was gonna be excited when Lawrence Fishburne came out hella theatrical, yo. Once
Mad
again,
theatrical.
yo.
He's always theatrical. But this was like the theatrics of theatrics. He just giving the speech.
Fire.
And I don't think you see him at first. And then you start seeing him and he's walking, trying to get closer to the door, and you walking, and then boom, you just keep seeing the punches. Boom, and then you come in and he finishes his speech up. It's powerful. Like this movie entered differently than the other ones. You know how we talk about how the other John Wicks kind of entered in,
like he was just running,
like
literally,
like a TV show,
the very next episode,
like it's a TV series,
the
and
very
they
next
just,
episode
with some of that stuff. That's how this one was different. It was setting up. You could tell this was the grand like finale for real. So anyway, that happens. John Wick, he talking about he ready to start killing and stuff like that. We already know the story, you know. If you don't know,
about to get busy.
Go watch 1 all the way to 4.
My man, for all you need to know is in 3 he got shot off a roof, and somehow he's better now. This is time later. Yeah, and Winston was his man's,
and he's trying to get to the high table.
Yes.
He's trying to, he don't like the high table. He left the game. He wasn't trying to get in.
Folks
pulled him back in. You know, he clapped somebody at the hotel. You're not supposed to do that. He was excommunicado, and it's just been going crazy. So his early kills.
Yes.
He come out killing right after that. He on the horse. He in the desert. I'm like, yo, the desert. That's what the elders was.
Yeah.
You know, like
so
he's just killing dudes.
Finger.
He's shooting dudes. That's on the people that protect and be around. He just killing them. He get up to the elder, and I'm like, oh snap.
Yeah.
First thing I think is like, yo, he about to smoke the elder.
He smoked him.
He don't care. But before he smoked him, he asked for his ring back because you know the whole thing is John Wick loved his wife.
Yeah, he loved his wife,
husband, right? So he won his ring back, and he like, I don't got it no more. That was the last elder.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's not here anymore. So I don't know if he died. I don't remember. I don't know how that happened, but he like, you know, if you kill me, it's not going to stop. Blah blah blah. So you came all the way here for no reason because he ain't expecting to kill him. He like, no, I did. And just claps him. And it's like, oh my
We already knew what type
of
film it was going to be from there. But honestly, John Wick hasn't been playing. Like, it's only got better and better and better.
Yeah. So. I believe so, absolutely. Then after that, he's sent from the high table. He's like right below, right? Or is he technically a part? The guy that... I can't think of his name right now, but the actor that played Pennywise the Clown in the new It.
Oh, yeah.
And he smoked it.
And remember, his dad was like that. I think he was like the one of the main bosses like before.
Okay, yeah.
It was his pops. Was it in the first one or the second one? I think
was that the first? It might have been
the one guy, with the slick back.
Was that his pops? Okay,
I think so.
I don't know because was he French? Because he's supposed to be French.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Anyway, so let's just say that guy smoked the role. Mm-hmm. And this is how this whole thing is.
He was such a sucker, yo.
He was. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
My bad.
But
sucker ass nigga, yo.
They bring him in. Like I said, he's killing the road. They bring Winston and not the manager, Lance Reddick. Want to give a quick salute to him.
R.I.P. again, Lance Reddick. You smoked your role too, even though that was ironic. That was weird. It felt weird watching that scene.
Now, what I want to say is, so they put a time. They put like they talking about, because John Wick is killing and he killed one of the elders and everything. Anybody who's associated with John Wick until he's killed with any type of aiding or any sort, they taking everything from you. They taking either someone you love, your business, or whatever. So they blew up the Continental Hotel. They say
that was
crazy. Got no more. So they put an hourglass on the table, and they're like, yo, when it run down, that's the time we're gonna make our decision to do what we're gonna do. So they think they're gonna kill. Winston thinks they about to shoot him, and he winds up killing Lance Reddick. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Character. But I was gonna ask you, do you believe? Because I know I was like, man, that's kind of ironic, but not to make speculation. Do you think that he may have informed them that he may not have much time left?
Possibly.
It felt like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. Possibly. I could be wrong, but because
he didn't even get to get busy like how he got busy.
Yeah, it was relatively early too.
It was quick.
Yeah, like I'm like, what is the odds?
It could be ironic though to you. It could.
I don't know. I don't know. But I felt like that
weird. It felt weird, and it hit home because it's like, damn, that's weird.
Yeah, it was, and it was powerful. It was like, dang. And with this, this whole thing based around, and they talk about it throughout, and at the end, it was friendship.
Yeah.
And you could see that bond between them, the manager and him. And it was like, man, he watched like his man's die. He talked about in the scene later, he was struggling with trying to figure out what to put on his tombstone. Yeah. And he said he ended up putting friend on there. Yeah. And that was powerful.
Yeah, that was hard.
And that movie showed a lot of we're gonna get into a lot of stuff, but a lot of it was
being honorable.
The bond between you and your friend, and how y'all getting through it, living in a wild type of world that they live in. You know what I mean? So so we get past that, and it's jumping off now.
Oh yes.
I mean, so they walk up. Well, I'll skip a little bit of stuff. So we come to find out that John Wick is in. He's at one of the hotels, the safe hotels, in Osaka, Japan, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, and that was one of his friends.
I need the Funko Pop, yo.
And so his daughter is like, what? Like she found out. I'm gonna skip some stuff right here, but she found out he's in there after a little bit of stuff that happens in between, and she's like, why is he here?
Yeah,
he's the reason all of this is about to go down. Yeah. So they come to they send people from the high table.
His name was Shimazu, the guy that ran that Continental and
hard.
Hard. Yo, that shit was, and he played for the novice people. I think he played Scorpion in the most recent Mortal Kombat. I believe.
Right.
I believe.
But he's a legend. He's been in a lot of
he's fired.
Films. Yeah. So anyway, they send people from the high table, and when the high table comes, you're supposed to just bow automatically, and he like. On these grounds, you gotta abide by laws too.
Yeah,
you can't. We need your pistols.
Yeah,
they like we ain't gotta give you our pistols. We come here. I mean, y'all already. We got suspicion that y'all harboring John Wick here, and he's excommunicado. Yeah. So y'all already doing dirty right now. So they don't want to stand down. So he kind of tell his people, yo, get ready, yo.
That shit was, and the scene was so fucking hard because the camera like panned around. They had all of the archer dudes like and pointing down at him with the light. I was like, yo.
They all got ready. They got there. He said, be prepared to give them our best hospitality when he was walking through. They grabbed all of the swords, all the bows and arrows and all the stuff out of there. And so the people from the high table like, all right, we ready to get busy. And they're like, not on our dime. So it'll go on to Fallout War.
That joint, and everybody had the icy suits in this one because when he shot the first ball and arrow, I'm like, how did it go through his arm, yo?
Stopped it.
My man straight blocked the arrow. Then it started getting crazy from there. It was all, and maybe it was like 30 minutes dialogue, and the whole rest was action.
I'm glad you said it because I had that on.
It was all action.
Let me get into this. For action films, a lot of the times. It's just the main thing, of course, even with this, is action and the storytelling, right? But a lot of times, in that what they're saying isn't really all that great and powerful. You're just getting caught up in a lot of the other stuff. Yeah, with all of them, but especially this one, the dialogue,
fire.
Oh my gosh, the dialogue was fantastic.
And the sickest part, with credit to the dialogue, John Wick might have said 100 words the whole movie, yo.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if it has to be that way, it will be. Like, it'd be like somebody to break down like a mean ass shit to him, and he just like, we have to do what we have to do.
He's a cold-blooded killer, yo.
Yeah, sometimes the sun won't rise. And he just go out and just cook everybody.
They be like, yo, what are you gonna go do, man, because of this? He be like, I'm going to kill them. He said that at least 8 times in that movie. I'm going to kill him.
Yes.
And it's just like,
he was getting
we already know what time it is, yo.
That shit is fire, yo. Please go see this mug, dog, yo.
So, they in there, they're fighting in that hotel, because you know there's different safe hotels all over the planet. The New York one was the one that everybody like, come on, man, y'all messing it up for everybody. But they're fighting in there. The daughter sees John Wick there, and she's like, yo, what are you here for, yo? You're gonna be the reason we all get killed. Yeah. So eventually they come up there, the people that's looking for him. Yeah. And him and her, they got to work side by side. One of her mans, one of the dudes that was out there to assist them. And it's just hard. She going crazy. She fighting.
Every character gets busy in the John Wick universe. Yeah. Like, you can't let them just surround a bunch of
And it's like
civilians.
different levels, and they all got specialties that they real nice in.
It was a couple of nice niggas in this one, though, because she was not... Matter of fact, we going to get into all
we're going to get into it.
Like, even her father, her pops was a gold.
He was OG.
If he
was OG.
All right, we're not gonna go there yet. But yeah, he would have been around with all that shit.
He was an OG. He put in work for years though. Yeah. They fighting. One of the things I want to get to is some of the kills, because that's always highlights and creative ways they get to it. So they fighting, and then one of the joint was funny. I sent y'all the clip from the behind the scenes where they just threw down the elevator, down the escalator, yo. Mad funny.
Yo, hella niggas fell down steps in this one, yo. Hella niggas fell down steps in this one.
It was a lot of steps used, period.
Just rolling down steps.
Yeah.
It might have been a solid 10 minutes of people falling down steps. Somebody got a clip a montage of just people falling down the steps in John Wick 4. It's going to be like a minute and a half. Straight step falling.
So one of the hardest kills, like early in that joint, was the daughter. She fighting the dude, and she starts stabbing him.
Yo.
She stabbed. It's so crazy. He's trying to climb the steps, and as he's climbing the steps and trying to fend off, she keeps stabbing until she's climbing him while he's climbing the steps until she's here and just go busy. I was like, yo,
this is crazy.
This is crazy, yo.
That movie is hard.
The lighting, the cinematography, the sound. I want to make sure I get that in like relatively early. Yeah. Bananas in this joint.
And big shout out to Keanu Reeves too, because he looked like he lean in this motherfucker. You could tell he in shape, because like just to do all them stunts, like it's a whole movie of stunts, yo.
Yeah. He said he did 90% of the stunts.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's what they said he said. And it's so much choreography.
Yeah.
It's wild. I've been saying that more and more as that reminds you like Star Wars. When you watch the first movies, it's like, and then by the time you get to like when they redid the next joint, episode 1 and everything, see Darth Maul flipping and flying, like it just gets crazy with time and stuff like that. But and the choreography was always dope, but it's just getting wilder and wilder. So let me see. One thing I will say, it actually is funny because it leads right into this. His nunchucks, when he got the nunchucks,
that shit was hard.
It was hard. What he was doing was necessary and effective.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I'm not an aficionado in nunchucks and stuff like that. His nunchuck skills is looking a little sketchy.
They was sus. That's because you see Bruce Lee movies.
You could tell he can't really. You could tell Keanu Reeves couldn't really quite get it, but they're like, we're gonna make you methodical. That's why they
kept making him flip it around the neck. It was a piece. Then he pull out the tone and clap like 3 people, and then they hit
that was one of the few things he looked
amateurish. It was hard though, still, yo. It was still
hard. It was hard.
Honestly, I want the John Wick Funko with the nunchucks around his neck, yo.
It was crazy. So they just fighting, and then so they get past that. They introduce, and which is crazy. So the dude from the high table or whatever, he basically recruits one of John Wick's friends because he knows how he can get to him.
Yeah.
And this is what starts a crazy dynamic where it's like, wow, yo, you had to pin friends together. But he holds that he will basically kill him and his daughter if he doesn't do the job. So he accepts the job. He calls him out of retirement, basically.
Yeah. And that was Donnie
Yen, the legend. Yeah,
Kane in the movie, but Donnie Yen. I pulled up the cast just so I could make sure I'm in there with you.
No,
Donnie Yen one was crazy. That's Ip Man. That's was the man back in the day in the 90s.
Yes, yo, put in mad
and
work.
He's crazy in this.
And it's crazy because he looks so fluid. They probably, I'm sure with certain scenes they swapped him in and out, but he's almost 60 years old.
Yeah.
For that, for him to move the way he moved and all of that.
The hardest thing about that shit is I feel like with the action movies, they be giving kudos to other action films. Because in Ip Man, he fought with like that Wayne Chun style. He did the same shit in John Wick. Like, remember the one scene where he ran up on a person and hit him with like a 40 piece?
He was like, he hit him with the uppercuts and shot.
And he was stabbing niggas like that. Like when he straight pull a knife out.
The joint hard.
Straight. That movie fire. Yo,
the coldest thing is he's blind.
On his Daredevil shit, cooking. And he was the nicest dude there. He was one of the hardest
That's
guys.
why they got him, because it was like him and John Wick is like the coldest, yo. And so they pinning friends together. They holding stuff over each other's head. And let me get into, I'm going to get just into the movie bag of it outside of like, you know, just like as far as neo-noir, that's my favorite like style.
You actually introduced me to what that was. So
that was done at the highest level. Like literally, that's it done at the highest level.
That shit was amazing.
Possible.
Yeah.
It was dark. The colors
Every
are
shot.
popping. The sound, everything about it, the build up, the dialogue.
Every shot.
Oh
yo.
my gosh.
Every shot. Like I kept tapping you every time because it'd be like overlooking like the sun setting in like Paris.
So dramatic. Yo.
Yeah, with the Tower of Pisa just chilling. Like it was craziness.
So I had to get that in. So as we're going through the timeline, him and John Wick, they have a crazy shootout scene in the in another room, similar to how
that shit was hard. You talking about when he put the little sensors
with all the
around?
glass?
Was it a kitchen they went in?
They had the kitchen, they had the glass. Man, we could do this.
Yeah, he did fight through like a whole damn mall almost.
Yeah, these fight scenes and stuff are so long.
Yeah,
like we can break down like one of them for 30 minutes.
Yes.
Like that's how
that
crazy
shit
it
is. Fire.
First of all, the movie's mad long. It's like almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's a great 3 hours. So anyway, they fighting John Wick and him and him fighting. You can see like he's blind, but it's crazy how he finds his awareness. Even like when you was talking about when they was in the kitchen, he was slapping the sensors on there so they beep and he would like get busy and stuff like that.
He was accurate with that pistol.
And then out of nowhere, they introduced another character. He went by Nobody.
Oh, yeah.
What, and his dog.
His name?
And I think his dog, I could be wrong, but I think his dog was, I believe you say...
his name is Tracker, and he was Shamir Anderson, but he did say I'm Nobody.
Okay, so he officially goes by Tracker?
Anderson. Yeah, Tracker.
Okay, so Tracker
is hard as fuck.
He looks like somebody from he looks like people's builds from Call of Duty, yo.
He just be out there.
And he got his dog with him, yo. I think the dog is a Belgian Malinois. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong with the dog, but I think that's what it is because it reminds me. Those dogs are like bred for like combat and stuff, like war dogs. They be jumping. They could climb trees and jump over gates, and
that's hard.
Those dogs are like extremely smart. I seen one like he was like walking on two like wires in this like balancing himself. If it's the same dog, I know somebody might say it may or may not be, but I think it is. If it's the same dog or even a dog similar. Them dogs are wild.
Yeah, smart. Regardless, Tracker Dog was crazy in that motherfucker. Like,
plays significant roles, and dogs always play a significant role in
John Wick. Yo, that's how you know Keanu Reeves is a good dude. Like, no, I like the dog. Yo, we gotta have a dog in every film. That's significant.
So, he comes in. His shot game is nice.
Yes.
But we find out we skipped the part when we first see him. Actually, was him checking into the hotel.
Yeah,
and he has a book. He looks like a John Wick super fan.
Mm-hmm.
But he also wants to kill him to collect money. But he doesn't want to kill him fast because as the reward keeps piling up, he's trying to get the most money for it. So he's negotiating throughout the whole movie the price he trying to get after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, remember he helped John Wick out when he was about to get
But that's because John Wick didn't clap him.
No, he was trying to help him out before that. He was like he was going through all this stuff. In Japan,
he
was like,
you're right.
He's like, man, you good, but you gotta protect yourself a little bit better. We in this together. So he like, I'm trying to have you survive a little bit longer because I need more money.
I ain't even peeped that.
So I don't want you to die. So I'm helping you out right now. Yeah. So, Donnie Yen's character Kane, John Wick and him have their scene. Blah blah blah. The Tracker comes and stops it because he like, it's getting a little too dicey up in here. I need him to survive. So anyway, Kane eventually is outside, like nice scenery, the water, You could like the Japanese, like just whatever trees and stuff they be having out there. Pops got shot. The daughter gets shot. So they walking out. And
if
he's
Pops
there.
didn't get shot, he would have went crazy.
He would have. So he's compromised. So I'm gonna skip through some of the dialogue. Him and John, basically, they like, yo, it has to be done. They like, yo, that's how. He's like, the Pops is like, yo, that's our friend. He like, I can't do it, yo. I got to be able to do it because I got my family and stuff. Yeah. So they having their dialogue, and you can see they all kind of a trio. They don't trust many people, but they all friends. So they have to fight.
Yeah.
And it's getting busy a little bit, even while Pops is wounded.
Yeah.
But then he slices him in the back. He like, oh man.
And that would have been such a cool ass fucking scene because that was like the samurai versus the ninja. You know, like that's like the iconic like kung fu like anime battle. The master samurai
over the water, yo. The little ponds,
versus the
ponds,
ninja.
Yo.
Yeah.
And the lighting was crazy. I gotta say that once again. So anyway, he cut him and he sits down. He like, man, just take care of your daughter, man, because he don't want to kill him.
Yeah.
But
honorable.
That warrior in him, yo.
But even him letting John Wick come there just showed his level of honor was higher than everybody.
His friendship. And that's what we keep talking about. The friendship aspect was more important than the high table. He was willing to risk his life for his brother.
See, now they opening the door for like the young John Wick themes. Well, we're not gonna get it, but they could have like younger John Wick movies based on like him doing stuff back in the day to show why they was loyal like that to him. You feel me? Because it was like, it was a couple of dudes. They like, yo, I don't care if everybody kill me. I'm not turning my back on John. He's honorable, yo.
Yeah, and so he like, man, just take care of your daughter.
Yeah.
But he can't, he understand he can't go out like that.
And he knew his daughter was a goon. Yeah. His daughter could take care of herself.
So he gets up and he goes to try to fight him again, and then eventually, he gets stabbed. And the daughter has to watch him, die in her arms. And she wants to go do work, but she compromised. He like, listen, just live, yo.
Yeah.
So she sucks it up, but she wants vengeance. So she kind of like, John, get him. Essentially in a way, I don't like you, but if you get to him, you got to get to him. So much happens. John is excommunicado, as we know. I'm gonna try to skip through a lot of this.
Yeah.
And he has no family anymore. Mm-hmm. So he can't just. Eventually, it comes down to the point where John can get all of this taken care of, get free, and have his man's Winston, who's playing this whole thing. Yeah, he's playing the best game of chess ever.
Yeah,
Winston's playing the best game of chess ever. Yo. Yeah. He tells John, listen, man, this can end. He's like, I know whatever we had happen at the end of the 3, but all you gotta do is you gotta be able to get a one-on-one duel. Yeah. With the guy who's sending all these people. And this dude's super rich. Fly suits. Yeah. Crazy. You saw the suits, Mike.
Yeah, he did have crazy suits on.
Man, he's giving
wild
a speech.
French cuts.
He giving a speech while they doing Western equestrian or whatever it is around him. The chains on the suits. Yeah. It was crazy.
He was money man for real.
Yeah, he was definitely money man. And one of the wildest scenes was when he was trying to negotiate. Tracker was trying to negotiate. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I'll take this. He's like, he negotiated. That scene now. And he stabs his hand. Yeah. He stabs Tracker's hand, the dude. And he like, listen, man, you can either basically be for yourself or be for the cause. So he's like, you either pull the knife out or you pull your hand through the knife.
Yeah. That's a wild assassin shit anyway.
He chose to be with the cause, which means you had to watch this scene up close. It's up close.
It's a knife.
The knife, he's holding it down so it won't move, and he's pulling it until it splits his hand. Yeah. I say, yo, this is crazy.
This movie's wild.
So anyway, John Wick has to become a part of a family again. He already had his ticket, broken. That's in the other one, if you haven't seen it. Yeah. So that favor, the ultimate favor that he would always need ain't there anymore. But they like, you can mend it. You got to go figure out a way and go talk to them. Winston was telling him this. Mm-hmm. And long story long, he gets back to where the people is that he was part of that family. And they see him and the priests come out the gate. Yeah. Bam! Shoot him. He put his jacket up just in enough time.
Yo, the Teflon jacket was hard as fuck too. A lot of people had them bitches though. Yo.
So the jacket was crazy. Yeah. And all the jackets.
Hella jackets in that motherfucker. Niggas was... Everybody was like this in this joint. They start clapping at you.
Yeah. So, but they take him to the back room. They stripped him, you ain't got no weapons. Next thing you know, you see him sitting in a chair. It's like a crank joint. and a noose around his neck and his hands tied, and they just keep cranking as they're asking him questions. And he's like, yo, why are you here? You're not part of the family anymore.
Yeah.
But he's like, yo, what happened? She tell him, basically, I had to watch this man kill my father in my face.
Shit was wild.
I had to kneel before him.
Yeah.
So she like, so he like, what can I do basically to get part of the family? She like, all right, if you kill him, you'll be part of the family.
Yeah.
So John Wick is trying to get got by the high table. You got his dude Tracker, who's nasty with the gun and his dog. You got Kane, who's his man and knows how he thinks, chasing him. And then now you got this new guy he got to kill.
And his John Wick is killer. And I didn't even know it was this guy. It's the guy Scott Adkins. He plays like the action dude in a lot of films. It was this dude. They put a suit on him.
I saw they definitely put they put a fat suit on him.
But yeah, he's been in a lot of action movies.
So they it gets real dramatic with this joint, right? So he like, all right, bet I'll go kill him. They initially set him up. They tell him where John Wick is going. So when he gets there to sit down across from what's his name again?
Killer.
He's big dude.
The golds
in the mouth.
Yeah.
He's Russian, right?
Yeah. Heavy set.
As soon as you come in, the lighting.
Inhaler.
That's shot. When you first come in, the lighting, being focused, the dark room, the table, which is the poker table, and what you see, the cards. Like how they shot that. Bananas.
Yes.
Absolutely bananas, yo.
Yeah.
And he talking and he doing this, doing that. He had to take in a breath of his inhaler, which is a gold inhaler.
Yeah.
His suit was like purple or something. He was sharp.
Yeah.
He was real big, but he was sharp.
He was a goon.
So it's like, dang, he out of breath. Like, damn, why are you big and all of that? But it's leading up to something, right? So you're like, yo. So you're like, yeah, you're coming. Next thing you know, Kane comes in. Then the Tracker coming. He like, yo, John Wick like, yo, how did he find out I'm coming here? You kind of find out the family kind of told, you know what I mean? So everything is tough. Everything he has to do is tough. So it's like the family's working against him, but with him. They want him to kill him, but they also like, if he die, he die, right?
Yeah.
Because we just get, if he dies, the high table will just have favor on all of us. So at the end of the day, we're going to be good regardless, even though we've had trauma happen. But all the trauma they saying is happening because John Wick was the smart to start all of this, right? So anyway, so they get with this like old school, like, noir/neo-noir style of like dialogue, and it's a card table, a card game. One hand. He said, because you want to kill John, you want to kill John, I want to kill John, John wants to kill me. We got a situation, so we're gonna play one game of 5-card pool, poker. So John come out with like 2 aces, right? He like, that's bad, buddy, to start off. Then Kane got 4 nines or four, whatever. He basically got 4. And then old boy pull out the royal flush.
Yeah.
The Tracker.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, he about to win. I'm like, nah, something ain't right. So Killers pulls his cards 1, 2, a second 2, a third 2.
Yeah.
A fourth 2. I'm like, what's about to happen? I mean, my man's already got a royal flush. And old boy already had a 4 of a kind. Yeah. So what you gonna get another? But I was like, nah, something tricky. He pulls it over. It's another 2. He got 5 pair or whatever, which is not even possible. Yeah. So he rigged the game. So they all like, what? Man, you want some bull? So he like, hey, he about to get busy. So then they all start killing his people. Yeah. Because they're like, yo, we got to get to it. So it's just all of them in this room to killing each other, the lighting, the sound, the everything. John starts chasing Killer in this club. Yes. And he shot him in the butt. And he was like, So we like, dang. Next thing you know, John chasing him through the club. We're like, yo, how does big dude getting somewhere kind of fast? I'm like, John better catch his fat behind, right? We kind of find out, man, this dude he kind of different. You know?
He's really different.
You would never think because he had the inhaler and everything. Yeah. Next thing you know,
he could fight his
fighting John. He's giving John that work.
Goon.
Oh my god!
That shit looked like Kingpin when he fought Daredevil on the Marvel series.
He
like in the first one, like he was beating the shit out of him, yo.
His hands, not just the hand, his agility. Yeah, he did a roundhouse kick at like 400 pounds.
Yeah, but that's because like the new like almost like Jean-Claude-esque kind of dude, the guy that played him. That's crazy.
It's crazy though. Just seeing it visually look so. It's taking the levels of what you can think is happening. And it's the dialogue, they talking, this club, the music pounding, the sound,
And then most of the crazy like shooting and fighting scenes, it was still people in the back shaking off.
But that's why we said we believe it's a different universe.
It has to be
because they kind of used to it. They just stay out the
way
way.
Too much going. Like even in that scene alone, the people didn't start running until like probably like 100 people got killed already. Like yo,
yeah,
right.
They kind of used to it. They just like they're not gonna touch us. You know, a stray anything can happen to anybody. But they're like, we're used to this. They just stick to themselves. That's what it kind of seemed like.
Yeah.
But we briefly talked about it even with the Batman, how them club scenes, yo, be crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like all them rave club joints, yo, all the wildest fight stuff be happening.
Yeah,
anything goes.
Know. You wouldn't even know what's going on.
Yeah. So they doing it in there. The music, it's water all over. It's waterfalls in this club. It's nuts. It looks ridiculous. And I'm not gonna lie. Some people might not understand this unless you're passionate about certain things. And I'm not even an emotional person like that.
Yeah.
It was weird because it was like, yo, the way the whole movie was building up and until that point, it's not like a scene. It wasn't like somebody got killed when the emotion in me was like, oh my God, dang, they want to shed a tear.
Yeah.
There's somebody who loves film and you know the stuff I want to do and stuff like that. Like I'm watching this like,
shit is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The part that really got me, because it was crescendoing up into that point, and it's still much more after, but I don't know what it was about the scene when John Wick and Killer was fighting on the stairs.
Yeah.
And he getting busy, and he grabbed him. They did the shot from up in this angle in his face while he's grabbing him, and he's talking with all the stuff going in the background, and he's screaming. I just was like, yo, this cinema right here.
Crazy.
I couldn't believe my body was
Craziness.
just like, I couldn't.
Craziness.
I'm in there like, oh my, I'm really sitting there like, yo, a lot of emotions
happening.
I can't believe what I'm watching. Like the cinema is that crazy.
It's that good, yo.
I'm not exaggerating. It's that crazy.
Yeah,
yo.
It was out of pocket. Like,
and I'm just
really
coming
crazy.
with emotion and filled up, right? And I'm just like, it reminded me of, I watch, I don't watch a whole ton of like podcasts and stuff like that, but it's it's very few stuff that I like to tap into. It's called R&B Money. I mentioned this before. And it brought me back to when salute to that pod is fantastic with all the R&B people you like. There's some other random people in there. It's with Tank and Jay Valentine. But Rico Love was on there, and he said something like when he first was making music, like he was trying to make music. He started out as a rapper, and they told him, "Hey man, you got some vocals." I think his Pops Man mentioned something. He was like, "Man, you should sing." Or somebody was like, "You should sing." So he worked on it. He got better, and he wound up doing his things. Rico Love wrote all type of wrote for Beyonce and stuff like that, big songs and all that. But he was like, when he was listening, he said he cried. He said on there because he's like, when he was listening to Carl Thomas' Emotional album, he was like, not because of a situation he was thinking about with a woman or anything like that, and feeling like Carl like that in that joint, but he was like, he was listening to the album, and this is the album I love. He was listening to it, he was thinking to himself, they're making music like that. I gotta compete, or not even necessarily compete, but I gotta deal with and make music that's that good of quality. Like that, we all know the singles and stuff, but the album, from the intros to the poetry that happens in the album, to the singles are all fire. Summer Rain, I Wish I Never Met Her, Emotional, all them joints, right? Everybody know them, they're all classics. The whole album is fire. Anyway, so when he said that, in that moment in that movie, I felt them. I said, yo, not that you can't do it, but I got it, like that level. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that shit.
And it was inspirational, yo.
That shit really setting the bar for action films.
It's inspirational.
That shit really setting the bar for action films.
Like, you gotta step your game up, man.
Like nobody is made. I don't even think nobody's seen no shit like this before.
Close range, far, all
nobody's seen the one. To skip kind of ahead, just to talk about the cinematography and the scenes. Yo, the scene when they're in the spot, John Wick gets the fucking big ass like semi-automatic rifle. With
I'm gonna get to that. Let me get to it. I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get to this part so we can get right to it.
I was ready to start crying on that scene, nigga.
So he's fighting a killer. They fighting. This is physical. Yeah. Dude, and you got to see the visuals of Killer because he's a big dude. But
watch it in IMAX for real.
It's crazy. Yeah, watch it, please.
That shit was crazy.
Catch it matinee if you don't want to pay the full price.
Yeah,
because that's what we did.
Yeah,
I'm going to see it again though.
Yeah, I gotta see that again. Definitely. So y'all can get my money.
Yeah. So they fighting, and then he hits John and throws him over the balcony. Boom! He hits something else. John would always falling and hitting stuff. Yeah. And it's like, man, he messed up. So eventually they fighting, and the dude is like, he gets back up. John get up, they fighting, he chasing him, he fighting him in the waterfall in the club. Yo. It's crazy. All the colors going crazy and everything. And he's just like, they fighting up top. Again, I think they move some more. And he's like, why won't you just die?
Yeah.
He really just like, John, why won't you just die? And then John get a moment, hits him, knocks him over the rail, and he falls flat on his neck.
Yeah, on his neck. And broke his shit. That shit was crazy.
Crazy. And
they showed it.
And he died with like a smile on his face, right?
Yo was smirking with the broke neck.
Crazy, yo.
My man said, I was like, damn, everybody in the theater, and we was watching a violent ass film. Niggas was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So, as that happens, they told John, we need him dead and we need proof. So while he has the grin on his face, John keeps punching him in his face and pulls out one of his gold teeth. And that was his proof. So we're going to skip through some of this stuff. Basically, he gets the blessing, yeah, I mean. He goes, we're going to skip to this scene. When we're talking about they've done everything that you could think about, at least to our knowledge, action-wise, so angles and this and that, they get to the point where John is in like, I guess it was an apartment building or something like that.
I feel like low-key, the scene you're about to describe is an Ultra Instinct version of that scene on the second Bad Boys when they were in the house and it was circling around while it was you see what everybody is doing through the shootout, like with every character from every position, every angle, like it was crazy.
So they going through like, they're showing a top angle, like, so in architecture, and I used to do models like this and stylize my section joints. Yeah, where it was like the section wasn't just a flat planned section, but it was like a 3D render section I used to do sometimes. Yeah, and it's like it's a section cut of the house. So let's say there's 3 floors. It'll you see you kind of figure this out. It's a section, and you can just see that floor, but from the top angle. And he's going through it like a video game because how video games be having it. And you can see him. It's really like a video game for the top angle.
His primary weapon was the pistol, and he just was taking weapons off of people for like 10, 15 minutes.
So he gets the shotty with the dragon breath rounds.
Yeah, the dragon breath incendiary catch somebody on fire round. Bro, that was some of the hardest shit I've ever seen in my entire life, yo. That is the hardest shooting scene ever in fucking movie history. Anybody could... No, you can't dispute that. You really can't.
It was crazy, yo.
And we're action heads. Like, I love action movies, but...
It was crazy. So he getting busy, putting in work. They get to a point where him and the tracker finally facing off head to head because he keep negotiating that price up. Yeah. The tracker... Basically, so eventually, they find out that the one-on-one duel has to happen. Yeah. And this is when the unhonorable sucker stuff.
Skank motherfucker.
So he like, okay. So they're sitting at a table. Him, the manager, and Kane is on the other side. Kane is on the other side with the dude that's sitting by the high table. Yeah. And the manager's with John Wick. So they're like, okay, we preparing for this duel. John Wick did everything to get to that point. He became part of the family and everything. And he's like, okay. They picking cards with numbers like these swanky metal glass cards on a glass mirror table and stuff, right? And it's like, okay. Yeah. And they got whoever has the highest number. So they're like, it's time of day, setting, and the type of artillery. Yeah. So the first dude flips, and John flips. The other dude has the highest number. He's like, the time of day, if I'm not mistaken, this is the order it went in. Yeah. He was like, sunset. Then John basically wins the last 2 flips, and he's like, his picks are wherever that place was on the stairs or whatever, the church or whatever. Yeah. And the one dude had picked for weapons when they flip. Before they flip, they actually pick. And he's like, I want knives. And then John is like, weapons, guns, pistols, basically. Pistols. Yeah,
the pistol. He be getting busy with that joint.
So John gets pistols and the place while it's a sunset, right? Sunrise. And then so anyway, they get into that moment, and then this sucker, apparently, you can nominate somebody to do your duel for you. Somebody they was building the whole thing up to think for you to think that John was actually going to go one-on-one with this guy. Yeah. He nominates who? Kane. You know? Yeah. And threatens him. Kane like, I don't want to do it. The whole time, the whole movie, he don't want to do this. He keep trying to tell him, but he keep threatening his family.
That's a friend of mine.
So anyway, what's his name? Tracker one of the craziest cold scenes. So many cold scenes. We got to skip so much stuff, but the movie's so long.
And just a sidebar with Kane. Shout out to him because he was honorable, yo.
Yeah.
Because I forgot after he stabbed his man, yo, way back, the other guy that was like the samurai, he cried, yo, after that scene.
he did.
I'm like,
He
damn,
shed
yo.
tears.
He felt bad about a lot of shit he did, but it was for he loved his daughter.
Yeah. So they put a big hit out on, and this is so cold how they do it. It's like a radio. She's a lady. She's a radio DJ, black lady.
That shit was like the Warriors.
Yeah, she playing different songs, and then John Wick is here. John Wick is here. She a
The
DJ.
Warriors, bro.
And all of a sudden, everybody in town is trying to kill him in Paris.
Speaking in
then they get
code.
around that circle, that famous joint, and John is just they going and just one of the crazy. This
That
rivals
might
the
be
other
one of
one.
the craziest scenes.
And cars are hitting them as they trying to kill him, hitting John. He's shooting more cars is hitting people.
Yeah.
He's shooting people as they getting hit by the car. It was crazy.
The sickest part about that movie is though the next shootout scene might have been wilder than that. Yo. How do you do this?
So then they having the shootouts. Anyway, it all leads up to what's the name? He like
Wait, and we got to give a shout out. What was his name, yo? We didn't even really get his name. He was like a henchman level, like John Wick.
Oh!
But he was nice.
I actually like him,
that was
though.
the
I ain't
main
gonna
guy in
lie.
the circle.
So he was sent by the guy from
Yo,
the high table to work for them.
If Kane didn't come, he might have took John Wick out.
Dude
He was that nice, yo.
He was nice.
He was that nice.
He was a French dude too with the side, with the
French
sideburns.
dude, yeah.
Getting
And he had the
busy.
cream color joint on with the
Getting busy.
Teflon.
Yes, crazy.
And he was kind of stocky
he was
with it.
kinda-
He was on
nice.
his Sagat shit.
John was having trouble with him.
Yeah,
Serious
he was
trouble with him.
he was fucking people up. But also, I don't think anybody could stop John Wick if they didn't bank him, yo.
Oh, they always have.
Everybody had to try to bank him,
They
yo.
gotta try to jump him. Yeah. 1-on-1.
Yo, we gotta get 37 goons and 2 henchmen.
It's crazy, yo. So they shooting around in that concern. It's getting crazy.
How many people got hit by a car in that scene? We got to talk about that.
don't know.
John Wick might have got hit 4 times by a car.
No, yo. John Wick, he got hit.
That's
he
what
got
lets
hit
you
by
like-
mad cars. He's driving. He going crazy.
Yeah, with
shooting
John Wick
people.
4, they are putting it anime level now. Because the way he got hit by the car in this one was like, damn.
It was several times he been hit
He
by
would be
cars in that movie. He was falling off of roofs constantly, yo.
That was like a
Jumping out of
35-foot fall, too. Like,
It was worse than
on
The
the
Wire,
concrete, yo. He like jumped, bust out of a window to escape some people cornering him. And
It's crazy. So anyway, the tracker, they come in at some point that they meet up. It's all getting mixed up, but this is key. John spares his life. John hasn't had a history of sparing people's lives.
Yeah.
That he really just sees something in.
Mm-hmm.
And the tracker, the funny thing is, while they all shooting in that circle, the tracker keep negotiating the price up with the dude and hanging up on him. He boss talking to dude now because the dude like, yo, I think we got it under control. He like, from my angle, it don't look like you got it under control. It's another 6 million.
Yeah.
Another this, another that. So he boosting it up. So anyway, he eventually gets to John and has an opportunity to kill him. John has an opportunity to kill him. Eventually, John gets the upper hand and he does it.
yeah.
And that's when he like, wow, he saw the grace in
But
him.
John respected that he saved him those couple times because you pointed that out. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he did save yo in like the first or second shootout. Like he really would have got shot in the back.
He had a motive, but at the same time, he was keeping it honorable with with how he was being honorable.
Yeah, and he never did no sucker shit.
Yeah. So he ended up saving him, and let's just get to that main ending.
The stairwell lead up was crazy.
Oh, the step. Well, yeah, that's the last thing.
And when him and Kane, well, first off, John
I'ma
Wick
let you
goes
go
up
all
to
over.
goes up like killing dudes. All right, so we get off of the car scene where they in the crazy roundabout thing, and they go to a crazy stairwell to get up to the church. It's probably like 8 flights of steps that they got to climb to get up the top of the thing to get to the church. Bro, John Wick killed about 50 to 60 people in this scene. He gets kicked all the way back down,
All the way
8
after
flights
working
of
so
steps.
hard. And hold on, when he gets to the bottom of the steps, the first start, he has like 8 minutes.
But when he was rolling down the steps, people started laughing. He rolled down
Yeah,
so many
everybody
flights.
started
Yo.
laughing.
It's like a minute scene of him falling down
I want
the
to build
steps.
up how significant it was because he has 8 minutes to get to the church because he has to be at the dual location by sunrise, which is 6:03 in the morning. So he's
Yeah,
trying
he had to
get
be
there.
at the duel at the time
So he
frame that
fighting
yo
them
set.
all, trying to get up there.
Yeah.
He fighting them all. He meets that dude. He's talking
Yeah,
about
Kane. Oh yeah,
the other dude.
my man, the French dude
Start
was
beating him
crazy.
and kicks him all the way down. He's tumbling so many stairs. It was funny. People in the theater started laughing.
A lot of
yo.
steps, yo.
There was a lot of people doing this the whole movie. Let me just say that. Like, people, you could feel, like, the movie. It's like, oh, my God.
Damn, this shit crazy.
Yeah, so, anyway, he falls all the way down the steps. I'm going to let you go back in.
So he falls all the way back down the steps. My guy, Kane, pulls up, bro. And honestly, Kane, my favorite character. I need the Funko with him. Like, yo, that motherfucker was hard, yo. But... long story short, he gets at the bottom of the steps. They have about 4 minutes left. He like, we need to get back up these steps, John.
I think he said we got 3
minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They go up the steps and start going crazy, yo. I'm talking about. And Kane might have been the coldest character in the whole movie, honestly.
Him being blind. And
what was he like when he wasn't blind? If he like that blind?
And remember, he gave up his eyes. Like the guy gave up his cutting his hand. John gave up his finger. Another person had gave up his finger. The guy who was helping orchestrate all of the stuff.
Oh yes,
the older dude who kept trying to drop knowledge
because he was missing a finger too.
On the young dude who was a part of the under the high table, you could tell he's trying to ascend to being officially the high table. Yeah, you could tell that's what he wanted. He giving him game. He was missing a finger, and then what's the name? Kane gave up his eyes. That was his thing. So anyway, Kane, I'm gonna finish and Kane helping him out, but the whole thing is so crazy because Kane is helping him out.
Yes.
So he can, because if he doesn't make it, John doesn't make it. And the dude doesn't want John to make it. He puts the bounty out.
He doesn't have the opportunity to be free.
Yeah.
Everybody has a motive in the whole film. That's crazy.
So he's helping him out so he can kill John. It's crazy, yo.
It's crazy.
So anyway, eventually they get all the way up there. But right before that, because the French dude came back again. He was so tough, yo.
Yeah, this dude is a problem, yo.
The tracker comes out.
They killed him, though, didn't they?
Comes out with his dog. Yeah. And the dog helps. Well, he gets him, and then the dog helps. He attacks him with the dog. He told the dog to bite his nuts. That was too much. I was like,
nah, the dog bit a lot of people's nuts in that movie. Actually,
crazy,
yo.
So you do that, and then he claps him.
Yeah.
Then when the tracker they get all the way up to the church. The tracker, he's like, he just chilling now. He like, yeah, whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, he like these dudes.
He just watching the duel.
He respected him though.
Yeah, he did.
John Wick earned a lot of dudes respect because it's like, yo, he did all this. Like, yo, just let that man live, yo. This not the one you want to be dishonorable to.
Yeah. And he helped. He saved his life, so he was like, man, whatever. So anyway, the track they all get up there. They set the duel up in this very grandiose like setting and stuff like that with the sunset behind them, looking freaking crazy. And they pull out the pistols. I didn't know it. It was some old fashioned.
Yeah, they had the muskets.
It was crazy.
One round.
One
round. Yeah.
It's very country western type.
Yeah.
30 paces each way, turn. They call it. You shoot. They get shot in the arm the first time. You call it 20. Shoot. Shot. Both of them get like shot in back. Well, John got shot in the other arm up top again. Then he shoots Kane like somewhere bad, like in his stomach, but he's still moving. They go one more time. They give a speech. John gives a little speech right before it, and it's like. What he said? No.
Something like if you cling to life or something like that. I know what you're talking about.
If you clinging to death,
you live.
If you clinging to life, you're gonna die. Something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But I'm gonna see it again, and when it comes out, we're gonna keep.
But people gonna respect us for This is literally the Sunday that this came out.
We just finished watching.
Like we just watched.
Ain't even 2 hours.
So that's hard for we even remember that. That says a testament to how great the film was too.
So basically that was a code for something. So they both turn, and then bang, John gets clapped and he's down, and it's like, oh man, and he says, Kane goes to the dude and says, hey man, am I free now? Me and my daughter free to go? He goes, yes. So he's like, all right. He like, give me the gun. John Wick is not dead, so this sucker is gonna enter the duel. To clap him while he's down and end it off. And that's when the dude kept giving him the words of knowledge. Don't let your ego be too big. This and that and the third. Don't do blah, 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 blah. Me and Mike, I looked at Mike. I'm like, yo, John never shot that.
Yeah.
He got shot, but he didn't shoot that bullet. And then he goes to go kill John. And that's when Winston goes, you fool with your ego. He never shot the round. But now the dude is officially a part of the duel now. Yeah. John turns up, bong, right in the middle of the head. Yeah. Everybody was happy.
Yes. Because he's a skanky.
We didn't talk about him OD crazy, but this dude was so annoying in the film.
He's been a sucker for a long time.
Been
like 2-3 movies now.
And getting worse, but he's smoking the role, though.
Yeah, he killed that role.
He's killing it. So that happens. John and Kane have a little, dialogue. Winston and John have a dialogue, and he's like, yo, can you take me home? He tells that to Winston, and Winston's looking at him like, And you can see in Winston's eyes something different. Because he looked down, you can start to see the tears, right?
Yeah.
Did you peep that?
Yeah.
And he like, sure, I'll take you home. So John starts to walk in this very dramatic country western, even with like the samurai and the kung fu films, the solo shot.
The light, the sun setting. Well, it's rising, but at the perfect
It kind of reminded me of Blade 2, remember?
Yeah.
He was holding Shorty and the sun came up and she, turned to ashes.
Blade 2, I forgot about that scene. That was a Blade 2 ass scene.
So John sits on the steps and he kind of passes out. But earlier in that, John was like, when they was talking about the tombstone stuff, I'm going back. They was like, what did you, was talking about what they put, stuff to be put in their tombstone last. And of course, Lawrence Fishburne character was like, long live the king. And
yeah.
Like, but, and it was friend for the manager's man's, John Wick was like loving husband. That's what he wanted on his joint. So anyway, John Wick appears to pass away.
I don't think he did, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't think he did.
We don't know.
I feel like he told Winston, this the only way I could really be free since you running shit now. Like, tell him I passed away, dog. Cause you saw when he gave him the eye to eye, he was like, Winston, could you give me a ride home?
Yeah.
He's like, sure, Jonathan. I'm like, they already colluding on some shit, yo.
But John probably, if he is alive,
he came up under a chess master.
He don't want to be in the game anymore.
Yeah,
he probably looking for any reason to them be forced out of the game. And it was a scene. So Lawrence Fishburne, I can't think of the name right now, but I don't know why. We know all these names. Yeah. You know how we be rolling. And Winston at the grave sites of both tombstones, John Wick and his wife are right next to each other, and it says a loving wife and a loving husband. The tombstones right next to each other.
Yeah,
and that's how the movie ends. And but there's a post credit.
That was a fire post credit too.
Post credit.
Shit kind of remind you of Carlito's Way.
Kane is walking somewhere with like roses or whatever. I guess he's going to meet his daughter.
Yeah, he's going to go meet his daughter.
And then the daughter from his mans that he killed, she told John, if you don't get him earlier, I didn't say this, but earlier she was like, if you don't get him, I am. And all of a sudden you see her walking with a blade.
Yeah, that's Shemazu daughter.
And it cuts off.
Yeah, fire. And then it's just going to be so many ways they could take it now. Thank you, John Wick 4, for being so great. Clearly, what was your overall score of the film?
10.
Same. And I'm not even saying that because it's my man's. Like, 10. I couldn't, if I'd have saw that by myself, I would have been texting people like, yo, you need to go see this shit. Like,
I'm recommending it.
This shit is crazy. And I get
Cinema
you,
at
like,
the high level.
And I'm not even a director person, and I felt you at some scenes. I was like, this shit is so good. Like, I'm emotional.
Just the arts. Anybody who's into the arts,
so
it don't even matter. Just like you can appreciate that level of art. That's what it was. Shit. It was like
this motherfucker right here, John Wick,
crazy, yo.
4 and it escalated. So, what would you say? How would you rank the films as far as like your favorite to the least favorite?
Y'all know me. Off rip, I'll be like, I don't ever want to put something the highest because it just finished getting watched, and I don't ever jump. I could kind of range it. This is the best one.
Yeah,
I had no problem saying that.
I agree.
I have no problem saying it. So I'll go with 4. Maybe 3. 3 was mad cold. And then I gotta watch 1 again from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. Because they all hard.
Yeah.
But 1 is probably the one I haven't seen in the longest of time. Even though it came on the other day, I watched like a piece of it and didn't get through. So I don't want to judge that one. I've seen all the other ones way more recently.
I would probably, because I really like all of them. I would probably have it 4. You know I love 2. So 4, 2, 1, then 3. Granted, I fuck with all of them, but 2, you know that scene, that I love where that was like when he started the 10-minute, 15-minute shootouts where he just like, I'm just going crazy. But nah, thank you, John Wick. Again, that was great.
Yeah, the movie was mad long, but it kept building to other stuff and other stuff. And you could feel like this is the grand finale, so it needed to be this long. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like a jam session.
Yeah, it was.
It felt like
2 hours and 49 minutes total runtime.
Yeah. It felt like one of them 70s jam sessions where it's just building up and getting better, and they just playing the music, and you can tell everybody working on it just was.
They just pulling all the stops. Appreciate about that is no bad scene in the movie, and somehow they keep topping themselves. Cause when it was early when he kicked the dude with the gold tooth off of the thing. Not early, but like midway through the film.
It's probably 60% of the way through.
60%, yeah.
Roughly.
But still, it was like I thought it could get no better than that club
level.
scene. Yeah.
It had another level.
Then the very next scene, they had the shit panning over the top. They straight, the fire incendiary rounds cooking niggas where they like set them on fire and blowing shit up. It was one scene that I really appreciated when they was in like the nice like kitchen. It was like they were in like a kitchen of a restaurant or a club or whatever, and he popped the one nigga. The gas burner was still on one of them, and it's a guy across. He shoots it. The burner like kind of exploded because I know everybody was like, why was it a mini explosion? But niggas didn't realize it was a gas range there, and the fire caused like a fireball, and it hit the nigga. I'm like, yo, y'all doing
even
too
the
much
solo
at this
shot
point.
where Kane, while they all fighting, and he just eating like a bowl of like noodles or something.
He was chilling.
And the shot with the colors,
anime shit right there,
the dramatic like contrast and everything, and then they're like, hey man, do your job.
Yeah.
One dude, the French dude, and he like, so he finished eating, and
because he still didn't want to go at John, That was his man's. Like, I know this nigga, He's probably gonna defy the odds, fellas. Like,
they have another one.
He's like me.
They gotta get Denzel.
Denzel, they gonna have the equalizer in there.
The equalizer in John Wick 5, yo. And Denzel all about that's the dialogue king. You got
and
him and Lawrence Fishburne, oh my gosh,
Yeah. And after John Wick 4, it's official. John Wick definitely would clap any low grade Marvel character easily.
Easily.
He might kill a couple of top tier niggas easily. if he get enough
right suit
artillery and the right suit on.
Yeah. And I just want to say for this film, it's fire.
10 out of 10. We got to review one of the best action films of all time,
It's amazing. I'm thankful that we're getting to see stuff like this. Like I said, my favorite genre of film, and it literally was done at the highest level possible. Yeah. And everybody there should be high-fiving each other. Yeah. The sound team, the people who do the color correction, the cinematographer in general, period, the directing, it just was fire. And man, salute to everybody that was involved. Mike, I just want to say salute to you, me. We brothers, and we
already, bro. This. That's love. I enjoy doing that shit with you though, because it's like I get to go see great films. Like I've known action movies, but my man's is like a director, so it's like I'm starting to look at shit in your eye now. Like notice, like every scene. I know you was getting annoyed because I'm like, I know this nigga love film, but I'm like, I'm tapping you like, nigga, you see that shot, nigga? Yeah. Yo, the shot again, yo. Yeah. Like, that shit was... It was crazy. Good gracious, yo.
I know we're going to see it again. I got to take my lady to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to go see that again regardless.
Yeah, it's going to be fire. So, Rich, we're going to be talking about it.
Yeah, Rich, we need you to tap in.
We're going to be talking about it with you. We know when you see it, we know Rich going to love it.
Yeah.
We know you're going to love it. And we're going to tap in probably briefly again next week. Thanks for everybody if you're seeing all the way to this
appreciate y'all tapping in.
Tap in. Yeah. Go recommend it. It is what it is, man.